welcome to Geekology. I'm David.
I'm Sven.
And welcome to Star Trek Month. Right. I like this. I wanted to review this for quite a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we are reviewing today is the Star Trek Bluetooth Communicator.
Really like to review the next gen one as well.
yes, we would. No hints at all there. So, what you get?
See the description below for where to send it to.
So, let's start with the packaging first of all. Fairly standard with the 50th anniversary logo. The back tells you exactly what the product does and lists through the functionality. Yep, that's about all I'm coming up with from the packaging. Sven?
It's shiny.
It's that standard 50th anniversary gold, and
it's kind of nicely
I
done.
actually like it, to be fair. There's nothing about that style that I've... Yeah.
It does what it says on the box.
Right, so we get a little, I'm presuming leatherette. I very much doubt it's actually going to be leather. Nice little pouch.
Okay.
It's embossed with the Star Trek Enterprise Delta, and it says USS Enterprise, standard issue communicator.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, then we have the instruction manual with a stunning piece of artwork for the back. That is really nice. Wouldn't it be great if they did a few of the other items? And then the actual instructions for the front.
Yeah, cool.
And a little congratulations, you have purchased our product, and a warning that the second button on the communicator is not a
multi-way rocker.
Yeah, thank you.
In fact, the second button is the multi-way rocker, the first one isn't.
See, this was the bit that I always get confused with. Jog switch.
Yeah, yes, jog switch. So you jog it left and down.
Yeah, okay. Right, so the instructions are really straightforward. They do keep...
They really don't look straightforward.
You know what? I'm going to completely disagree with you on that, because it took me...
very complicated.
It took me no time to read through this.
Why do you get a feeling? Are they actually telling you every little step?
Yeah. I love the fact that it keeps a Star Trek theme. See, there's a starship as well as a phone. That is actually manual. This bit is all the little tricks to make the sounds that they've got embedded in the device.
Yeah.
So it literally could be you're having a conversation with the ship if you just remember which way you want to flick all the little buttons. Okay, so I'll tell you what, since the instructions and the gorgeous artwork don't interest you at all,
we'll take photos of them later.
Shall we? Okay. So, Sven, would you like to do the honours?
Right. The communicator comes in this box, which does actually have property of Starfleet, USS Enterprise 1701, standard issue communicator on the back, as well as all of the actual real life stuff. And then on the front, you've got an embossed USS Enterprise NCC 1701 in the right font.
Yes.
Standard issue communicator. Embossed sort of like plate.
Actually, to be fair, all that really boring legal data they have to stick on there, I love the fact they seeded it with lots of Star Trek references through it. I just thought it was nice and in keeping with it. Absolutely. So let's open this up. Foam padded box, really nice.
That's really quite premium, isn't it?
It really is. And we have a stand here.
Okay.
Which just clips together. Yeah, a lovely stand. Metal, says USS Enterprise standard issue communicator here. Then a vulcanized rubber and neodymium magnet backing piece for it to hold on to. You link it in a USB cable, which is provided. I took it out of the box earlier so I could connect it to a battery so we could demonstrate it. And as you can see, it's got a little colour changing LED in there. So that when you have said communicator on the stand,
so it's an induction charger.
Straight on, it is an induction charger. Hums up and glows to let you know it is charging. Right, so is there anything you'd like to cover about the packaging? There's one thing I'd like to cover about the packaging.
I take you lift that out to find the cable underneath usually.
No,
or was that separate?
it's separate in the box.
Okay, so it's moulded to the actual item, which is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really nice rubber. That wasn't actually the thing, but I think that's fantastic. It's a really silly thing, and it's something that I'm probably the only person who's ever reviewed this is going to comment on.
Cool.
It's got a proper hinge.
Okay.
Metal rod, 2 plastic connects. This isn't one of those just plastic hinges that is going to break after a dozen times of you doing that. It's got an actual solid proper hinge. I know it's a really silly thing,
but it means it's got some longevity to it.
but it means that they've gone, you know what, we'll put it into a carry case. Now that's going to have bumped up the cost of manufacture, but I genuinely think it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's because the thing is, I plan on carrying this in my pocket when I go to events and things. But if I was going anywhere a little bit harder, if I was travelling somewhere and I wanted to take this with me, I would want to put it in the case.
Yeah.
And this isn't something you're just going to go and bin.
No, quite.
You're going to keep the case. So I like the fact, and they tried to make it look Starfleet-ish.
Yeah. So it's something you'd put into your cabinet.
Yeah.
As long as it has a display piece. The only thing is that I would have done is maybe put
colour.
Yeah, I would have put the division colours or something.
Oh, that would look quite nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, this device has already been pre-charged because I've been using it because I thought it'd be a bit strange to do a review where I hadn't used it. Obviously, you haven't had a chance to. I will tell you that for heavy usage, I got a day and a half out of the battery, which for a handheld Bluetooth devices is very good, because normally from things like the speakers and so on you only get 2 hours. So right, I shall hand this over to you. Now at the moment it's not connected to anything. Actually I should just hand it to you and let you do that bit. I'll play with it in a second. That's the solid button.
Right, and then you've got the rocker switch there.
Yeah.
Enterprise Bridge, Lieutenant Uhura.
That's really clear.
Yes.
That's remarkably clear, isn't it?
Okay, I'll tell you a trick without having to go through the instructions. So, each direction is a character. So up is Spock.
Yeah.
Enterprise, Spock here.
That was 1. Now if you do it quickly twice.
Affirmative, Captain. Enterprise out. McCoy here. McCoy here. Received and understood. Yes, Captain. Yes, Captain. Aye, sir. Scotty here, Captain. I'll do what I can, sir. Enterprise Bridge, Lieutenant Uhura. Yes, sir.
Isn't that lovely? So
cool.
If you wanted to do a mock-up of you doing it, the other feature that I really liked is that they've actually gone for a mechanical.
Yeah, so as it's activated, that's turning.
That's spiralling round.
That's really cool.
Okay, to turn the device on and off.
Yeah. That's quite cool.
And I know they're only plastic, but I really love the crystals.
Yeah.
They flash. They occasionally ping. Even when the cover's down, they ping, which I feel is a really nice feature. I've bought, with the exception of the Masterpiece replica and the Roddenberry, I've purchased every other version of the Communicator. And this is the best. This is really nice.
Yeah, I mean, if it's got weight to it.
Yeah. The only downside to the actual physical moulding of it is that it has that legal information in there.
Yeah,
but even then, they've got the Star Trek. They've put Star Trek bits in there.
Yeah, property of Starfleet, but
yeah,
you've got the CE logo for Europe on it. That's going to take some getting used to. It's not the same as any of the others.
I'll tell you a little trick. It's not something I did, but a friend of mine's got one of these. Because he said, what you do is instead of flicking it like that. Now I'm okay with it because I've played with all the toys. What he does was he puts his finger on the hinge and just rolls it back like that. So
okay, fair enough. But yeah, that's
the texture is amazing.
Enterprise, Spock here.
Now, according to the blurb,
Enterprise out.
they 3D scanned an original,
Received and
tweaked
understood. Received
the texture and all the rest of it, and this is the end result. And I totally believe that. I can believe that is one-to-one perfect.
I mean, apart from the requirements, like the screw
Yeah.
points and that badge on the back, I can't see anything inaccurate.
No.
Certainly not.
They could have possibly used real crystals rather than plastic.
Yeah, I would have put the price.
That would have really put the price up.
I mean, if you want it to be $200, yeah, great, do it. Yeah, that's actually really impressive. Okay, so how have you found the connectivity on it?
Absolutely fine. If you give me 2 seconds, I'll give you a quick example. So, if I switch on my Bluetooth, look for it in the listing. It's right there as TWC Communicator.
The wand company.
Connected.
Cool.
There you go. That's simple. If you would like to use any of the Siri functions, go for it. Just speak directly into the...
Don't let me loose with your Siri. That's probably a bad move.
Hey Siri. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
About as much ground as a groundhog could hog if a groundhog could hog ground.
Obviously, all of your smartphone voice functions are capable. It works on the jog switch for music, so if you wish to play music, you can play. So the distance is it's okay from the front door to my bathroom. So
Okay.
20 yards. 20 yards, which is fine.
You're not going to be wandering that far away from your phone with your communicator.
No. The weight is heavier than my phone.
Yes, but it's the correct weight.
But
it feels right.
It does. It is absolutely lovely. I've got to be honest. If I was buying a Bluetooth device for my phone, no.
No?
No, just no. I mean, why would you want something this big,
Yeah.
this bulky, and it's got no screen? You can't do.
But say if it was a badge.
No. So, but the thing is, I didn't purchase this as just any Bluetooth device. I purchased it specifically because it's the Star Trek communicator.
Yeah.
I purchased it specifically because it's a stunning rendition of a communicator. And the fact that it happens to actually be functional is a big bonus for me. I have used this. I have been out and I have used it. My only criticism of this device in any way, shape or form is I was slightly disappointed with the maximum volume outputs. Okay, I will give you an example of this by turning this up to max. And I will play you something from, how about we go with the BBC, because you just cannot go wrong with the BBC. So here is, say, the introduction for just a minute.
This is the BBC.
That's not going to be loud enough in a public place, is it? Not even close.
No.
Oh, sorry, hesitation there. I'm Cara Guide, and welcome to Comedy of the Week.
That's now max.
And felicitations to your favourite 7-day service of
So you're going to end up with it like this in a
Bonjour,
public place,
from a show that is on 4 times a month.
Well, no, it's the reason it was. I had no problem in quite a crowded place using it as a mobile phone device. The reason I was disappointed was because I listen to podcasts and music and so on from my phone. I expected it to have a bit more humph. I wanted to just be able to go, oh, do I need a speaker for this? Boom, boom, boom. And I was like, oh, it's not that much louder than my actual phone. So that would be a criticism. The battery life on it is phenomenal. I love the charging method.
That's a really nice way of displaying it.
It's stunning. When you know what, I have to be brutally honest. To just have this in a case on charge, just blinking away. I'm wondering how many of these are having their batteries completely destroyed by people just having them constantly just out on display.
Why would you have it plugged in?
Because it lights up pretty. But no, seriously, look at the. You can see
I know, but I wouldn't do that.
Well, no, you wouldn't. But yeah, there are people like me in the world.
So to score this, let's have a look at the retail price. So how much is this in the UK?
120. Well, 190.
Right, so what, $150 in the States?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Roughly.
I think they knock off like 5 cents. I think it's like 1.495.
You know, immediately that amount of money makes you go, whoa. But then you
Well, hang on, 2 seconds. If we're going to do it that way, can I just jog your memory for a second? So, Playmate Toys, original communicator was 20.
Right.
Back in the day, now it's about 45. The Diamond Select communicator was 35 to 40, depending on where you bought it from, but today is woof.
There's a toys though.
Okay, Masterpiece replica.
Yeah.
300 was the cheapest. They
ridiculous.
did a couple of different versions. The Roddenberry one is not far behind.
That's better than those two.
Well, I wouldn't say it's better than the well, it's better than the Masterpiece because it is fully functional and a Bluetooth device, but it has
Does it look better?
No, not that much. I'd say it's on a par.
Exactly, that's my point. So
But it's usable.
better.
But it is actually usable, which I think is.
Yeah,
is
but
a
it's
big
got
thing.
it's got the stand. Now, I believe it's a little bit overpriced. I mean, bearing in mind, it's 120 quid. 20 quid of that is VAT.
Yeah.
Be straight off. If that was $99.99, which I think would be the more appropriate price point for it,
Okay.
if they could manage that price, I'm not saying they can, I'm not saying they can't, but if they could hit $99.99, I think that would be a lot more attractive. Because the moment you go over the £100 mark, it's like, the price does seem a little excessive once you hit over 100 quid for something like this, considering you can pick up some Bluetooth speakers for 20 quid at decent quality.
Yeah.
But then the really good quality ones are £80 upwards. With the fact that that's got that wonderful stand on it.
Stand is gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It's really well done. I'm very impressed with how they've approached it. The case,
in all fairness, the case
It's
probably
stunning.
added a chunk to the manufacturing cost, but
Yeah.
I do feel it's worth it.
If it was $99.99, it would be 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
At this price point, 8.5, I would say.
Alright. Well, I totally see where you're coming from. Yeah. Okay. On the other hand, I've dealt with resin props a little bit more than you have, would be fair to say. And over the years I have seen many variations of these
The only
things.
thing I would say to that is I would never, ever, ever even contemplate buying a resin prop. So that is an entirely different thing.
Yeah, and the point I was going for is for costuming purposes, purely from costuming purposes. Over the years I've purchased so many communicators and so many bits and made up things, made myself or purchased other people's, and because I'm very enthusiastic about this sort of thing.
Yeah.
This is just so stunning. So much so that when I got this, one of the first things I actually did was find exactly where the neodymium magnets were in the back, went out, got right magnets, right size, and did myself a belt so I can clip it straight onto the belt. But that's just because I'm sad. But as an item itself, yes, I can see what you're saying about the price point, but I think it's worth it, to be brutally honest. I do. My only criticisms of it are I would have liked a greater range of volume. I feel it should have gone
it
up.
needs to be louder.
And are you ready for this? Because this is the most nitpickiest, complainy, whingy thing I could possibly complain about.
Go on.
The leather pouch that they give you to keep it in.
Why hasn't it got a belt clip on it?
It's not got, well, it does, well, not a clip, but it hasn't got a slit for you to weave this into a belt. This
Yeah.
pocket is purely so that you do not scratch up your device in your own pocket. It is literally a pocket to keep it in your pocket. It is not a belt thing, which is what I first thought it was.
Yeah, that would have been more sensible.
It would have, but that is the nitpickiest, whingiest, complainingest thing I could possibly.
To be fair,
think
it does make that a bit pointless. And why are you paying for something that's pointless?
Yes, Ken.
Right, so having said, I totally see where you're coming from the price point of view. However, a feeling that I can see it. I'm actually scoring this a 9 3/4.
It's not getting a 10, just because it's not loud enough.
You know what? The volume is actually the quarter of a point.
Right.
And
fair
also, when was the last time I ever gave something a 10?
Never. You specifically don't give anything.
I
a 10.
don't give anything a 10. 9 3/4 is officially the best score I've ever given anything.
Fair enough.
This gets it. I think it's a fantastic device. You know what, this is going to be really cheesy to say, but I fell in love with this. I do. I originally, when I first opened it, I looked at the box and went, well, there's 20, 30 quid that I didn't need to be wasted. They could have just bought the Communicator out cheaper. But this is really nice. It really is nice. If they could tell me that it'd be £30 cheaper without the box, I'd have bought it without the box. But they didn't.
And you would have regretted it.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't. The
How
box.
about-
The box is a really nice feature.
If the box was metal and it was 130 rather than 120.
Metal box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd fork out the extra 10 for
Thought
the
you
metal
might.
box. If to tell you the truth, it's one of those things. Technically, I have no reason to ever need this box unless I was going somewhere abroad and just.
I
wanted to
think
put
that's
it
a
in
really good thing to store the
It's
thing
just
in.
gorgeous. Are you joking? It's going on my desk next to my computer. I think it's fantastic. So yeah, that is the Star Trek Bluetooth communicator.
Looks like it's recommended.
Wow, I think that about wraps it up. Big thumbs up from me.
And me.
Fantastic. Great thing to add into our Star Trek month. So you've heard our comments. We'd love to read yours, so leave them in the section below. Whilst you're doing that, you should subscribe to us here on YouTube. You can follow us on both Facebook and Twitter. And thank you very much for watching. Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Try the mirror shoot. Duct tape is not always the most amazing thing in the world. It just seems like it. And the mirror's still going. And going. And gone. And ding, 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 ding. This is it. This is the bloopers, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is going to be the bloopers. You can see it now. Okay. I can't see it.
I'll be
Oh!
up to in a minute.
And that is your stand for, helps if you do it the wrong way. And that is the stand for charging it, little metal plate, and then this is a neodymium magnet rubber up.
Hey Siri, play a track from this phone. Play any track off this phone.
What would you like to listen to?
Sven does
Rock.
not know how to use an iPhone. Hey Siri.
I couldn't find no iPhone in your music.
Hey Siri. Play music.
Your music library is empty.
You haven't put any music on your iPhone.